Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 12th to the 18th of August 2013. We begin with the Jupiter-Pluto opposition. Now this is quite a big deal. It's happening this weekend, which is the 10th of August, and it will happen again in February and again in April next year. So we have Jupiter in Cancer and Pluto in Capricorn, and this is a giant tug of war, an opposition and a polarity that's going on across the skies, but with two very powerful planetary bodies. Jupiter represents our sovereignty, our kingliness, our expansion, our growth, our wisdom, and Pluto represents deconstructing what has served and needs to go in order to make room for what is coming through and what will serve us, what we can stand on and for going into the future. And Pluto is in Capricorn. So Jupiter in Cancer is more of a watery aspect. It's to do with us taking sovereign control of our emotions, breaking the programming, and being true to ourselves, really, actually choosing what matters on an emotional and a psychic and an intuitive level, so that we're not pulled about, having our heartstrings pulled and having our conditioning tell us to be happy or unhappy. We decide what we actually believe in and our emotional truth. And opposite we have Pluto saying make sure that you're building on strong ground, stand up for what you believe in and look into the deep, because Pluto actually rules the underworld. And the reason for this is that Pluto is at the edge of our solar system, and then there's a band of deep darkness that surrounds our solar system, so he's the guardian of the dark gateway. And Pluto in Capricorn is in an earth sign, and the earth of Capricorn is the Rocky Mountain, the deep winter strong earth. So it's saying rebuild your foundations, let it break down anything that's not actually true, especially on the material and on the denser planes, and decide what it is that you really want to build your foundations on and what you really stand on. So we have the more emotional Jupiter in Cancer and the more profound, fundamental anchor point of Pluto in Capricorn. So this is one of three alignments, one of three oppositions, like I say, going into February and April next year. So you'll see this energy repeated at that time. But it's worth at the beginning of the week just pondering what you actually stand on and for, where your core strength is, and where you're being pulled out of your sovereignty emotionally by all the media and the conditioning that we've gone through that tells us to take seriously and to consider important emotions that aren't ours to begin with and that don't serve us. We have a very strong aspect then coming in on Tuesday, which is the half moon in Scorpio. And the half moon in Scorpio comes in just as the grand trine in water is ending. It's almost like it signs it off, it finishes the job. And the half moon joins Saturn and the North Node, so it's lessons to be learnt from the past and from deep within. A half moon is always a challenging aspect. We rush to celebrate the new moon and the full moon, but we rarely stop to glimpse at the half moon. But when the moon is halfway between the new moon and the full moon, it actually forms a square with the sun. And this is necessary challenge. This is, are you actually achieving what you set out to achieve, or are you actually on track to what you want to achieve? So the half moon in Scorpio joining Saturn and the North Node, finishing off this grand trine that we've seen all summer, which has been calling us to create our own authentic dimension emotionally and with our relationship with the rest of our solar system. This will actually show you whether you've passed the test or where there's still work to be done. Because Scorpio is the use and abuse of our power. So this will show you whether your subconscious and conscious and your thoughts, words and actions are actually in alignment, and if you're creating from a space of integrity. So two very, very powerful aspects there coming in at the beginning of the week. And it's worth clearing a bit of space, not getting pulled into the outer, and to actually go in deep and do the work there, because these aren't aspects that we'll see again very soon. Coming towards the end of the week, we have Venus entering Libra. This is much lighter. Venus belongs in Libra and in Taurus. So if we look at that, we can see that Taurus is an earth sign and Libra is an air sign. And our Earth is in a perfect harmony with the planet Venus. It creates a 5-pointed star every 8 years on its own 13-year circuit, which is perfect Fibonacci numbers and creates a perfect musical fifth. So we're in a direct harmony with the planet Venus, which represents to us harmony, music, love and balance. Venus in Taurus is Earth, so that's more like the rhythm, nature, gardening, cooking, and your own inner values and your own love for yourself and your tastes and what actually matters to you on the material level. But when Venus goes into Libra, we're dealing with an air sign at the time of the autumn equinox, because Libra is one of the signs that is doorway to the autumn equinox, and that's what the symbol means. It's the sun going down at the sunset aspect, which is the equinoxial point, and that's why they call it fall, because it's the sun's fall. So Venus in Libra is all to do with creative balance and harmony expression through air, and this will be a lovely light period where we can express our true essence through dance, song, poetry, and create peace and harmony around us. So this is one to really join in with, get into the flow, with no thinking required, no lessons to be learnt here, just when you're happy because you're laughing, when you're in the flow because you're dancing and singing and creating. So Venus in Libra brings in a flow for us which will last for a few weeks, and it will show you on a very gentle level what you care about and who you are and what you're expressing. If you see dance like active Reiki, then every time you sing and move, you're actually healing, or not, according to your movements and your intentions. So this is a chance to sing your song and dance your dance and actually enjoy the lightness of that Venus in Libra after all of the heavy energies that we've seen over the summer. So that's the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week.